0, 1. Let's get started.
Hello and welcome back, professional traders. Now in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you all my professional trading strategy on one of your favorite assets. And in today, that's going to be none other than NVDA. So let's get right into how we can make some money trading this stock, okay? Now what I look at and perceive this overall move is pretty clearly a bullish move going higher. And with that bullish move, it's pretty big, okay? Now we've already gotten some variation of a three-legged pullback and actually have retested the low, which gives me two variations at hand for tomorrow's market session, okay? The very first one is going to actually be a return going all the way back up to the prior high, in which we've already started that nested variety, okay? So once we do get above this prior pivot high, which is at 208.25, we should see the market basically return all the way up to this prior high here, okay? Now that's going to be my primary path, but again, we do have to break above this pivot right here, and that's going to be somewhere right around that 208 level, okay? So with that being said, we can now segue over into the secondary scenario, and that's going to obviously be if we're bearish, okay? Now, from the perspective of the bears, you could still argue the fact that this is but one leg here, okay? So if we simply look for this now to rotate lower here, I would still look for a buying opportunity off of this low. So with that being said, the full distance of this move from this pitch high to this pitch low, and for right now, we're going to put it over right here, okay? So one would assume right around that 1-to-1, maybe even 1-2-7-2 extension should be the sweet spot if this thing wants to extend lower, okay? Now in that extension going lower, we are again basically looking for the same pattern in which we're going to look for a buying opportunity off the low. We'll just have a lot more room to the upside, okay? Now that is but one variation when we get down to that level. Now the second variation is very similar. However, we will fail to make a new higher high. We'll come all the way back down, and essentially we'll have a second chance to do that whole thing all over again, okay? So just be aware that there are a little bit of complexities when dealing with this type of system if we do manage to go down further, okay? Now, you may be asking yourself, how far do we have to go down for us to be bearish? Well, in this situation, let's just continue from the first one. We have this 1, 2, 3 reversal, and then we're looking for a return to the high. If we instead fail and go further down, then that will change the context of the market now, and we can now look to be bearish, okay? So let me scoot this over. Let me change this to red. Now this will be realistically the only way right now that we should be looking to short the market. As you can see, it will take a bit of doing given that how high NVIDIA has pushed up, okay? So just be aware that the blue case scenario that you'll see in just a second is my primary path if we can get above 208.25. And if we go down further, then we'll just kind of have to figure out exactly where this thing wants to reverse and get in based off of an entry pattern, okay? Now, lastly, everyone, let's just say we do end up all the way back up to the prior high to start the morning off. Who knows what can happen, right? If we go all the way back up to 213, just be aware that once we get up to that level, we're more likely actually to find a reversal coming back down to the prior low, okay? So just be aware that 213 is very, very consequential as far as like the continuation of the market. It's pretty clearly bullish, but we can see some rejections at that high, okay? Now for us to continue the overall bullish push, which is possible, even though we've gone so far so soon, we would have to see proof, okay? Now that proof should be pretty obvious in how far this thing kind of blasts through this prior high here at 213, okay? Now if that is going to be the case, then we can simply now change our viewpoint to being bullish even more and then looking to buy future dips on any pullbacks, okay? So just be aware of this little variation here in which we basically, again, consolidate from highs to lows. And other than that, ladies and gentlemen, if we again break out, it should be pretty obvious. And for right now, we're just looking for buying opportunities. So the first one, again, is either going to be at this 208 level, or subjectively, like we talked about before, it could be somewhere right in this green patch between 200 as well as 198, okay? So that is pretty much how I'm going to be looking at NVIDIA and how I'll be trading it if and when it does come around to these various parts, okay? So if this video has helped you out, and more importantly, if you find that you yourself making some money using this exact same variations, then come on back, feel free to like and subscribe. And I have a YouTube live stream every Monday through Friday where I use this same exact strategy and I trade the S&P 500 every single Monday through Friday, okay? So if you want to see me trade this exact system live and in action, come on back here at 9:30 and you'll see exactly that. So again, everyone, thank you for giving me some of your time. I hope you crush it in tomorrow's markets session, and I will see you all on the next candle.
I know it's hard to trust so-called gurus. That's why I live stream my trades every single day, Monday through Friday, starting at 9:30 a.m. The live stream isn't for you to copy my trades, it's to show proof and credibility that my strategy works. The stream is delayed and muted to protect my edge. But if you want to see everything unmuted and in real time, check out the Discord and Patreon links below. You'll get exclusive perks and the opportunity to learn the system for yourself, so you don't miss great opportunities just like this one.
All right, everyone. So you're going to be seeing a trade that I just recently took live during the stream, and ultimately you can be a part of this too, so make sure you look down below. But when taking a look at the trade that we just recently took here, it was the objective coming in was the fact that we had a really big move push to the upside, okay? Now this big move to the upside was basically counterplayed by a pullback, and subsequently our entry was to look to get in right above a couple pivots to retest the prior high, okay? So what you're seeing right now is the replay of my actual entry, which was right here at this 68.1925 area. And again, ultimately, like I was saying before, our main objective from this standpoint is to look to try to retest this prior high back at 68, let's just say 38. So what we are looking at right now is my volatility-based stop loss in perfect action, okay? Every trade and every day has a different stop loss based on the volatility of the day specific. So when taking a look at this trade specifically, you can see that we came relatively close to getting stopped out, okay? However, we did not get stopped out, and we ultimately reversed just like we were expecting. Now, obviously a bit deeper of a correction, but everything was within the wheelhouse of what we were expecting. As you can soon see here in just a few seconds, we ended up getting that first target as it hits right there. And then with a little bit more patience, we did end up getting the second target as well. Now just be aware, after you get your first target, you do want to stop the risk, which is why we did pull the stop up to right around and or above our entry pivot, okay? Now from this standpoint, again, we were just waiting, being patient. And I was referencing in this part of the video what we talked about in our afternoon game plan videos, okay? I was basically saying that we were looking at this in terms of that green case scenario that we mentioned on our nightly recap videos, and that we were essentially looking for a continuation going higher, okay? Now we kind of phased that back to where we were. We did have that bigger move that went up, and now this is the three-legged pullback, and again, the retest to the high. Now, at the very least, I am expecting it to retest the high and potentially continue going higher, which is why we have those targets above us, okay? But in essence, we ended up getting that next target with a bit of patience. Definitely some patience was required. And then we ended up tightening up our stop loss and then getting trailed out without hitting the extension, okay? Now, all in all, this was a $2,500 trade. So if you want to be a part of the situation just like this, then be sure to look down below for the Discord / Patreon links, or come and join the muted, delayed live stream every 9:30 here on the YouTube channel.